You know, there's two pretty great things about this one. It's not just being able to put all of my AEW figures back in their Smyths so that they fit in these two piles, but that the space Ricky Starks has made down here is space that stays. I've got nothing to fill that with. Ignore those. Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we are just unboxing the Eddie Kingston AEW Unrivaled Series 9 Wrestling Action Figure. Now this one is pretty interesting. There's some ups, there's some downs, and we don't often get that with these NW openings. Quite often I can only sing the praises of the figures, but there is definitely some things about this one that I am not a massive fan of. But we did pick it up pretty cheap, which is, you know, why we picked it up. We're going to get into it and talk about what we like and dislike about this figure. There's going to be a proper review of this one, so that's cool. So, the same AEW packaging as, you know, all the others. Here's the 73rd figure in the line in Series 9. There's a little mugshot on the side there. Series 9, I think, was pretty good. First of all, it was the series that brought us our Lord and Saviour Thunder Rosa. I actually bought the Powerhouse Hobbs as well, although I've stuck it back on eBay by now. The Brian Cage was, of course, interesting, and again, I probably would have picked that up, as I've mentioned before on the channel, if it had lingered in my B&M a little bit longer. The Christian Cage just looked like an old man. It looked terrible. And the Ricky Starks I did have, so I do technically own 4 out of 6 of these figures, although the Powerhouse Hobbs is probably going to go. But even still, that's half of an AEW set owned in my collection. That's pretty good. You usually get like 1 or 2 AEW figures or WWE figures in a series. Probably keep 1 or 2. Anyway, without further ado, let's crack him open and see what we're working with. And as always with AEW figures, we're not going to spend much time trying to preserve the box, because that would just be an exercise in futility. So we're just going to rip that open and peel off the backing card. Look at that, god damn. And we're going to get the bubble out. Take a quick look at him in bubble. And then we're going to slowly ease him out of there. He does have some bands on his wrist, etc. So just going to snip those before I forget. Wow, his legs are in there a bit. They're very, very sturdy in there. Okay, so this is what Eddie is looking like straight out of the box. Now, initial impressions, I'm not a massive fan of this head scan, but I'm a lot more of a fan of it than this head scan. As much as with Eddie, you'd kind of like the open mouth, kind of grimacing face scan. To be quite honest with you, I just don't think it's that good. I don't think it particularly looks like him all that much. I mean, neither of them do, to be fair, but like, you know, I mean, the way I'm holding it right now, it looks more like Bubba Ray Dudley. The one on his head also really doesn't suit the stylized hands, I feel like. You know, he should have this head on if you're going to pose him with the stylized hands, but whatever. Next thing, the necklace. We don't have any detail on that at all. That is literally just brown color. As you can see here, it's a little bit more interesting all the way around. It wouldn't hurt to just have, I don't know, like a little bit, like even just like a wash on the thing, so that it's not just solid brown. But you can see if you look up close, it hasn't even had like the gaps in the necklace 3D printed out. Like you can literally see where they've modeled it here, where there's like gaps in it, etc. They've literally not been cut out of the necklace, so there's just unnecessary plastic in there as well. Another really nitpicky thing you can physically see on this picture, chest hair. None of that on the figure. But I suppose, you know, it would be easy to jazz up the necklace a little bit. It'd be easy to give him some chest hair. Not so easy to fix the face scans, which I think are passable because we don't have better. I do think that it's all right. It's all right. Now, the outfit itself is not bad, you know. It's an outfit that Kingston wore that's pretty kind of like, you know, pretty well known to his character. For my personal opinion, it is better than the kind of Spirit Boy outfit he wore when he was fighting Jon Moxley when he first turned up in AEW. We've got the yellow and black kind of tank top, the yellow belt, the kind of, I don't know what you call those, cargo trousers? I don't know. All I know is they are surprisingly sturdy for AEW legs. And then on the back, we have this kind of prowling lion. Just jazz it up a little bit. So yeah, I think that's more or less everything. In terms of accessories, don't get anything in terms of like weapons or anything interesting like that. But we do, of course, have the necklace. We do have a spare head, of course. And we do have 2 pairs of spare hands. So that is not bad at all. We've got the stylized Eddie Kingston hands on already. We have these useless, completely open C-grip hands that can't really hold anything. And we have fists. So, yeah, my usual complaint with AEW figures that they have these kind of hands rather than, like, grip hands. You know, both of them are fully wide C-grips. I don't really know what you can even hold with them, you know. Like, there is very, very few things, you know, that you can hold with these hands, you know. Like what are you going to use it for? That is a resentment I have towards these AEW figures altogether. You know, very few of them actually have hands that can hold things. I think of the ones I've opened, only Pac has perhaps been granted the luxury of grip hands, and that's because he comes with a chair, so you would hope he can grip it. But next up, let's just get into the joint check. So first of all, I'd just like to say, outside impressions, just while I've been handling this during the video, it has felt pretty rigid for an AEW figure, and that's always good because AEW figures are just going to loosen over time. So let's start with the head. Yeah, that's fine, nice and tight. Shoulder, that's pretty tight, and it doesn't move to about there like all the WWE figures I've unboxed recently. Yep, full range of action in that shoulder. It's not that difficult to tell. Biceps maybe a little bit looser. That elbow's pretty stiff though, and the interchangeable hand is okay for now. Going over to the other shoulder. Again, full range of motion, how novel that is. Bicep swivel's fine, that elbow's nice and tight, and that interchangeable hand is okay for now. Next, we have the bicep swivel. That's pretty tight. In terms of an up and down range of motion, okay, so it leans further back than it goes forward. But that's not too bad, you know. That could be worse. You know, that could be worse. That's not bad. And obviously we can lean further forward with the legs. What I'm hoping is to not see him in this position too often. I know that it's been made intentionally for collectors to be able to just lop this off this guy, make customs of this, that, and the other. I don't know. Other people that customize a lot more than me might find it more useful than I do. I don't think I've seen a lot of people actually using that for anything. And additionally, I do think that it is probably a decent amount of the reason why these AEW figures are building such a reputation for loosening joints. The fact that there is just a ball joint in there or whatever. And then another one in the waist, which we should also test. It doesn't really turn. And one thing that kind of sucks, I mean, I can't really hold this against the figure, but you're seeing right here, just where... Oh, that's actually just a mark on the shirt. I thought that was like sweat from my thumb. I was going to say, you know, if it shows up sweat like that, then you're going to be wiping this off all the time when you are animating stuff, as I do. because, I mean, even right now, just doing this unboxing, I'm sweating really profusely. So yeah, I mean, that waist joint is nice and tight, it's fine. And we've got leg forward, maybe a little bit loose. Knee is fine. Boot swivel, nice and tight. And the toe moves, but it holds its shape. It's not the tightest thing in the world, but it's not the worst either. Again, both parts of that leg are fine. Boot is fine. Actually, that boot maybe went a little bit loose there when I put it back, and there we go. I think that leg is more or less fine. That's it. That's everything I've kind of got to go over with this Eddie Kingston figure, and I think I've waffled on about it long enough as well. So all in all, for a review, right? I'm sure a lot of people really wanted an Eddie Kingston figure. I'm sure a lot of people were very happy with this one. We're very excited for it to come out. But for me, this is a reduced job if ever I've seen one. The heads just aren't a close enough resemblance to Eddie Kingston for me to ferry out a full, what would have been £20 for this figure. I actually picked this up for £12 on eBay, and you can get that fairly easily. And, you know, I don't think that this figure is necessarily worth more than that. Of course, for me personally, the open C-grip hands are just useless. Although, I suppose, in one instance, you could argue that, in this case, Eddie can use them for chops. But then I would honestly rather just have a flat hand. That probably looks a bit better for tags. Although, actually, maybe that looks better for tags. That reaching over the ropes for someone. I guess maybe. I think, you know, this is a pretty good instance of the figure. I don't know what the hell that weird black mark is on the, like, the just a different tone to the rest of it. I mean, I don't know. Was that there at the start of the video? I have no idea. I didn't notice it. But yeah, I think this is a fine figure. I think there's nothing like massively wrong with it. You know, the heads could be better, but you know, they could probably be worse as well. And I think as things go, yeah, it doesn't move the earth, but this is a fine figure. And if you're a fan of Eddie Kingston, you know this is going to get the job done. So what I like to do to finish my figure unboxings is talk about what this guy is going to do in my figure fed. And basically what I've got to say for that is that this guy, he's just going to be like an exhibition fighter. If I need an opponent for someone, if I need a big opponent for someone, if I want some like credible enhancement talent or anything like that, Eddie Kingston is going to be your man. He's also going to be the kind of guy who turns up to those, as I say, exhibition matches of, you know, random people I want to use or anything of that kind of nature. He's just going to be a kind of journeyman, I guess. He's going to have probably enough matches, really, assuming those joints hold up. Because, like I say, this is a really sturdy figure for an AEW figure. There's just a lot of weight behind the legs. The upper body's nice and stiff, you know, it's pretty cool. That's more or less everything I have for you guys today. So if you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought. And check out the NWOpenings playlist in the end screen. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.